Hello people of the internet, today I'm going to show you how to make a Nerf slingshot. Let's get into it. So we're starting this with a rubber band piece for a slingshot. This particular one is meant for the wire frame kind. However, we're not going to be using the wire frame kind. So you might be asking why I use this one. Well, the main reason is because I know these bands are particularly powerful, and I thought that I had a method to use them effectively in my original design. So what you just saw me do was cross the pieces, draw some lines across to get a rough center of where I should drill my hole for putting a screw through it. And the main reason of putting that screw there is so it has something solid to push the dart through the PVC pipe and out. I was worried that if it was just the sling, that there'd be too much wiggle room and that everything would just mess up. So that was the reason behind this. So here's the basic design for the slingshot. Just a simple slingshot design. I don't really know what other thing to say. Now here comes the hard part of putting the slot in the pipe. So I made a little jig. So these two holes were mistakes, but these ones are the ones to pay attention to. So the way it works is you obviously will put your pipe in this slot, turn it upside down, and you drill your first hole through this, into the pipe. Then, you index it, so that hole is that you just drilled is lined up with this, and you put this bolt through it. Then, you drill your next hole through this, and you rinse and repeat that entire process of indexing it until it's cut out this channel. And that way you've got something that is totally consistent with going straight through the longest part of the pipe. It is in the same spot every time. You will obviously have to do a bit of sanding to sand away some of the extra plastic, but it's worth it as long as you get a consistent channel. So, I'm going to do that and then show you what the next step is. And here it is in old school. What, Jack? Is that a different material for the slingshot? And are these rubber bands different? No, I wouldn't lie to you. It's not like I realized that the orange bands weren't gonna work, even though I thought they would and I could make it work, so I just bought these looped ones. And it's not like my original slingshot snapped, so I needed to use some composite so that way it would all stay together. No, nothing like that. I'll just, nothing like that. But, yeah, so I guess just break down the rest of what I did here. So, we got the bolt going through, obviously, and the support for these bands is actually that bolt going through. So you just drill these slots in to through the wood, and make sure it's intersecting with the bolt. You shove the bands through, push the bolt in, and then that's what a support is on both sides. This piece of PVC pipe is being kept in place with this bracket from, I don't know what it is. I think it might have been a door or something. I don't know. It's shaved down, so that way this can fit in snug, and then the bolt threads cut into the PVC pipe just enough to hold it in place, but not enough that it actually is going through the barrel. Hold on a second. See, if it'll focus, it won't, but just, you'll have to trust me on that, I suppose. And then the other main important thing is with these bands is this design piece right here. So, a few things about this. So one, I'd only recommend doing one rubber band. I tried doing two for the longest time, and led to a lot of snapped things and broken pieces. It didn't work. So, and it was a mother hecker to stretch back. So I would just recommend one band. The other things I would recommend is, one, you put duct tape around the leather and the bands, the pieces connecting the bands to the leather, simply because there's a lot of, even if you sand down this PVC pipe, it is really sharp and jagged, and especially when it's slamming into it over and over again, and sometimes the bands go in and get caught, and it cuts the bands, which is how, you know, this one broke. So, I'd recommend doing that. The other main thing is, in order to guide this piece, so for one, it doesn't slip out of this track, and two, that it actually guides the dart in, rather than having the dart roll up and get crushed here, is you take a wing nut, and you put the screw through it. You just need to get a screw that can either fit the threads or is small enough to go through, and then you got a washer behind it, so that way it won't wiggle in the track. It's, this washer is big and is the same as the inside diameter of this PVC pipe, so that way it won't wiggle around, and then this piece of wood is just to keep everything in place. So, general principles, obviously, you hold it, you pull it back till it lines up, you let go, and the dart comes out. You put it in through the front, or you can slide it in between the track. I'd recommend putting it through the front. Anyway, after that long rambling, you know, it's time to show you the results. Okay, so we've got it right here. The other thing that I didn't mention, but I am going to now, is I'd recommend wearing a glove, actually, for pulling this back, because you're pulling on, not only you got sharp metal bits, but the plastic itself is very sharp, and I have cut myself on it, even with the sanding down. So, anyway, just gonna load it up here, pull it back, angle it down, and as you can see, it actually works pretty good. Obviously, accuracy isn't the best, because it's all in your hand, and there are a lot of things going on, but after some time, you can probably get it down. One more, just for, you know, the money shot. And boom. As you can see, there is not really any damage on this mechanism. The wing nuts have gotten kind of bent over time, but that's actually the best course of action, rather than the bands being broken. So, after, you know, all of that, I think it's time to move on to final thoughts. So, there it was. The beautiful Slingshot ballista thing. I mean, you've seen it. I think it's pretty cool. It's probably one of the most fun things I've ever made. I'm very proud of this, specifically because it works so well. I was, one, either not expecting it to work at all, or two, if I did get it to work, that it wouldn't really fire the darts that well, but it does. It fires them pretty hard, as you saw and heard. So, yeah, there's the build. Not too difficult, but very effective. So, thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. If you like what I do, and you want to see more of my videos, click subscribe. I upload new videos every Thursday, and yeah, don't got anything else to say, so see ya.